like, Trisha, that's okay. You literally moved across the world. That's fine to miss the people you love. I still feel guilt about leaving and not being readily available to the people that I love. And I think that part of me feels I don't have the right to miss them because I left. Ooh. This is why you talk through your emotions. Bonjour mes amis. I realize I'm going into week 3 of living here and I haven't had a full-on chat session with you guys, which you guys know I love to do. So I think it's about that time. So we're gonna do that while I get ready for my day. And I think the reason I haven't been doing that is just because I just really want to immerse myself in my experience here, flowing with my intuition, with my urges, and just what I wanted to do while I've been here without intellectualize it too much. I just wanted to live it and experience it. That's what I did. But I feel like now going to my 3rd week, I've kind of hit a groove and I can get back into my groove with you. So let's chop it up for a little bit. I realized I should change because I planned on wearing a turtleneck today and I didn't want to worry about messing up my makeup afterwards. So we've changed. I feel like I want to start by first acknowledging how big of a move this decision was. I tend to sometimes bypass when I make big decisions, and now that I say that, I think it might be coming from not feeling fully comfortable celebrating my achievements and the completion and fulfillment of certain goals that I have. I feel like in an attempt to not shine a light on those successes, I brush them off in an attempt to bypass acknowledging, celebrating those things. And so I feel that it's important for me to acknowledge how grateful I am for the people around me because they force me to sit and acknowledge those moments and not me feeling emotional. Ew. And I feel like it's because of those people in my life that I have memories and moments where I know I did celebrate them, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have done it on my own. So like my friends in the surprise party, like that made me feel really, really loved and seen, acknowledged, and all those things, because it's just not something I would have done for myself. And I realized everyone kept asking me like, Trisha, like, what are you gonna do for yourself? Are you doing like a going away party? Like, are you doing like a dinner, like something? And I was like, no, like, why would I do that? Like, I'm just going. But they were all asking because they all recognize that it's something that this move is a big deal and it deserved to be celebrated and regarded in that way. So crazy. And you guys don't know this yet, but I'm in a place of really trying to feel my emotions more than intellectualizing it. And a practice I'm doing is recognizing where I'm feeling the emotions as they come up. And as I said that, I was feeling that my throat space got really tight. My heart started to feel a little tense. And I think it was a sense of like uncomfortability in acknowledging that. So there's still discomfort in celebrating me and acknowledging that the things that I'm doing are things worthy of being celebrated. Those things bring a feeling of discomfort in my body. So I'm just acknowledging that. We are holding space for our feelings. Let's do my makeup. I have to get ready. I feel like with that, ooh, wrong. I actually also want to make it a point to acknowledge my family because I think they tend to follow my lead with things. I think in my brushing past this big move, or like the enactment of this big move, they probably felt they didn't want to overstep, which is why they didn't do something in the same way my friends did. But I think just with me and my process of healing and all the things I've been working through therapy-wise, I think they probably didn't want to feel like they were overstepping, and because I was brushing past it, they probably felt it was safer to do so too. So I'm acknowledging that because I know and still felt very loved and supported in this move by them as well. So love you guys very much. And I acknowledge that we're all kind of just learning and working with me and my journey and my experiences together. So makeup. Yeah, following up with that, I feel like something that's been coming up, I realize I can't talk and do this at the same time, but that was the Stay Glowy Super Gel Sunset Glow and Sun Glow. Something that's been coming up is like the feeling of missing people. It's like I used to say, and sometimes I still feel like I resonate with that. Like I feel like I don't miss people. Like I miss them, but I don't feel like I miss them. And again, I think that's just a block. I feel like I'm still working through becoming more comfortable with vulnerability, and admitting that I miss someone feels like a vulnerability. So I think emotionally I don't want to say that. Like I've only expressed the feeling of missing someone with people I was in emotionally unavailable situations with because obviously it felt safer to do that with someone who I knew couldn't reciprocate it back. Crazy, but that's what that was. And then also with my nephew, because he's a child and he loves freely, and so I feel safe to love him freely back, and I don't fear rejection and those things with him because he's a child, so it feels safe. But I think it's important for me to work on expressing that more and feeling comfortable just expressing that emotion towards people freely. So I do miss my friends, I do miss my family, but I think it's hard for me to say that because I don't want that to feel like I'm negating or regretting my decision, because I don't feel that at all. I feel very aligned and very like, this was exactly what I was supposed to do, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm making new connections, I'm meeting new people, and I feel really, really good about it. But then I also have moments where like something's happening and I'm like, oh, it would have been so funny if I could tell that person right now, but they're asleep. So like that's coming up. And I think I didn't notice that that's what that feeling was. It's just like, I miss my loved ones sometimes. And like, Trisha, that's okay. You literally moved across the world. That's fine to miss the people you love. And I wish in some moments they were here. But honestly, even in the times, in the moments where I'm missing them, I still feel very full, which I feel like is a really big confirmation for me that, again, I'm doing what I need to be doing. I'm in the space I'm meant to be in. Everything's good, but it's okay to miss my loved ones, and I should express that to them. Hello? Like, it's fine. So by the time this goes up, I would have already rectified this and expressed that I miss you guys too. Furthermore, I feel like the reason or a block as to why I don't really always feel comfortable expressing that to people is because I still feel some guilt about leaving and like not being readily available to the people that I love and not being able to be there for them. And I think part of me, ooh, this is why you talk through your emotions. And I think that part of me feels like I don't have the right to miss them because I left. Even though I left for my greater good, and me leaving doesn't mean that I don't love them. But I'm still like rewiring and working through the feelings of believing that my worth and my value comes from what I'm able to do and how I'm able to show up for the people that I love, even though that's just not the case. And the people I'm surrounded with now have made that abundantly clear to me. So love you guys down. But it's still something that has been like put in my brain forever. So I'm still working through that to kind of unlearn that belief. I notice that there's still a level of surprise that comes up when people that I love like still choose to love me, even though like maybe I haven't like been the most communicative or I haven't just like been there. That's the thing. I know that I know how to show up for people, but that's not the sole reason. I think trying to process that the reason that they love me is not just because of how I show up for them. That's what we're trying to unlearn. And so I found like when I haven't spoken to a friend in a while, or like I haven't seen them in forever, like a lot of my friends from college like don't live near me. And so sometimes I realize I feel guilt if I haven't like been there like to like work through certain things with them, or if they've gone through something and I haven't been there for them for it, but because I don't live there, I literally can't. And like they're making their own connections too. Like I feel guilt around that. And so when they reach out or we talk and they still feel the same level of love and excitement for me and like all those things, I'm always like, oh, you still want to be my friend? And they're always like, Trisha, girl, yes, like it's not about what you do for us. Like we love you because you're you, and you just happen to also be really good at showing up for your loved ones. And I'm like, okay. So it's just nice. I think it's really important that I have people like that in my life who have like no issue repeating to me that their love for me is not contingent on what I can do for them and how I show up for them and how I like can hold their emotions and their things for them. That's just not the point and the basis of our relationship, which I feel like is a newer thing for me in these past recent years, which I'm really grateful for. But I'm still adjusting to receive that type of love. And I think this move, along with the fact that it's a full moon and on my cycle, is like bringing all those emotions up. I had a huge cry yesterday. It was super cathartic, definitely needed that. But I think this move and all the astrological things that are happening, spiritual things that are happening, I think it's all meant to bring these feelings up so that I can address them, acknowledge them, realize what's happening, and reaffirm to myself that my worth is not tied in what I do for people. My worth is, it just is because I exist. It just is because of who I am. That's why I'm worthy. That's why I am valued and loved, because of who I am, because I exist, period, end of. So upon acknowledging that, I'm going into this week feeling a bit more grounded, but I want to keep doing things to stay in a grounded space. As you guys know, I start my mornings, well, maybe you don't know, but I start my mornings with my morning pages, full on brain dump into my journal. And then I play music and dance as I do my skincare and make my breakfast. That's how I start my day, to kind of like just ground myself within my body and in what I'm feeling before kind of like attaching to whatever outside noises are out there and circling. I feel that a big part of my journey right now is living intuitively and making it a point to do so. And this move is like a direct manifestation of that. And so I want to acknowledge that I'm very proud of myself for really living what I preach to myself, living it and trusting in that enough to make moves and take certain action and steps in specific directions. And I just think it's important to recognize that. And I feel like the reason I feel so grounded in the moves I'm making is because I'm just following my intuition first. I truly do not know where it's leading me. I don't really know where I'm going. I just know that I'm going the right way. I've had friends ask me like, how do I do that? And I just have different practices that I do or habits that I do to keep me in tune with my intuition. And one of them is my intuitive walks. If you follow me on TikTok, if you don't, just do it already. I don't know what you're waiting for. I do intuitive walks most mornings, just like a practice. I feel like your connection to your intuition is a skill that needs to be honed and built. And so I do that by I go outside, kind of see which direction I want to be pulled to and just let it lead me wherever it's supposed to lead me until I feel like coming back home. I do that one as a walking meditation, but also as a way to, again, connect with my intuition, learn what it feels like, what it sounds like to me, so that I'm able to decipher between that and like anxiety or like overwhelm or the voice of fear in my head. Making it a point to practice listening to my intuition makes it easier for me to recognize. So when I'm actually being called in a specific way that I'm meant to go, I know whether it's my intuition or whether it's anxiety and fear. So I do that. I have my own spiritual practice. I guess that is personal to me. I've been doing this for like years at this point. Every week I do a meditation and a card pull for myself every Sunday to set my intention for the week and energy wise, but also to get a peek as to what the energy that is coming in for me, what's present for me in the week ahead. And that usually gives me an idea of what's coming, at least what will be present. And it's not like a fortune teller situation. It doesn't tell me what's going to happen, but it just gives me insight onto what themes will be present, what feelings may come up, what are certain things that I may need to like look out for, or focus on, or unpack, or have grace for. It just gives me a better insight into the week ahead for me. And so that helps me move through each week with more direction. So that's how I do that. But again, my practice is specific and personal to me. You kind of have to find what works for you and just trust that and go for it. That's what I do. And it's working. Also, what I've noticed since being here is that I was able to recognize that the feeling I'm chasing is freedom. And I've noticed that freedom to me is just the ability to wake up every day and, again, lead with my intuition. I feel like that is freedom to me, and that is what makes me feel fulfilled. And I was doing that gratefully before I came here, and I think that's why I always kind of feel like that might be a conversation for a different day, actually. But that's the feeling I'm chasing. The feeling that I'm chasing is the embodiment of freedom, and I feel like that's what I'm living because I'm living intuitively every single day, and that to me is freedom. And this move and how I've been living here has been honestly kind of feeling like a creative retreat. And I'm recognizing that's literally how I want my life to feel. I want to wake up every day and be able to just do the things that I love, create the things that I love, or that I feel curious about or interested in. I just want to do those things. And I feel like that's what I've been able to do since being here more freely without the weight and like the pressures of society telling me I have to do things a certain way. I have to be working every day. I have to be doing this, da-da-da. And that's how you get success, but that's never really resonated with me. And if you're into human design, you should look into it. It's like another way to read your birth chart. I'm a projector, and upon learning that, it makes a lot of sense why I've never aligned with kind of like the grind mode, the hustle. Like, that's just really never felt like me. It always makes me feel super drained, super honestly depressed. I don't care about what I'm doing. Like, every time I'm in that space, I'm not a happy person. And as a projector, that makes a lot of sense. And so as I'm on my self-imposed creative retreat, I am able to wake up each day and decide which thing I want to do. And I have a lot of things I'm working on right now, which is really fun for me. Where's my chopstick? Which is really, really fun for me. It makes me feel very just happy and full every single day. I do get a little overwhelmed because my brain, again, ADHD, can get a little scattered. And I can like have an idea for one thing, go to do it, and then as I'm doing that other thing, an idea for this other project comes up and I feel like I have to go do it now, I'm gonna forget. And I kind of just like bounce around and there's not much structure. So I'm trying to figure out the structure portion of this. We're trying time blocking this week. That's what I'm incorporating to see how that works for me. I heard it works for people with a brain like mine, so we're gonna see. But I'll let you know how that goes. So right now, I'm bouncing between YouTube, TikTok, becoming more comfortable sharing my things from TikTok, which tends to be a little bit more open and vulnerable, onto Instagram. It feels less safe to do so, but I'm going to do it because, again, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing that intuitively, so we're gonna do it. Fuck it. My book, I wanna finish my reread this week and to see and get a direction and a feel on how I wanna go forward with edits. I have work this week, which will be fun, so you'll see that in the next vlog, because I thought this would be the intro to the next vlog, but obviously it's not. So we're still doing modeling, we're still figuring out what's happening there and seeing what moves I want to make going forward with that. But we still, again, still love it. I'm sure it's gonna be a fun week because of that. And we're just seeing where I'm going. So I'm happy I did this. I miss talking to you guys. I knew I was supposed to. I'm very happy I did it. And to bring us back around, as we're going into the third week of my move to Paris, especially after this conversation, I'm feeling super grounded. I think that's the main focus for me this week, being grounded in myself, being grounded in my intuition, and allowing myself to feel my emotions as they come up. Having grace for them and pouring love into me is my goal this week. That's what we're going with. And I guess we'll check in next week and see how I did with that. I have an event to go to later tonight and some work to do now, but you'll see all that in the next vlog. So I love you and I'll see you in the next vlog.